cost. I'm not losing anything. I don't need that $50,000. And wouldn't you know it, I think within a week, we had this huge day of sales, and we earned back more than $50,000 in one day. Just, it was like God saying, okay, you gave away the 50, we bring you back 50. And let's keep doing this because we're doing the right thing. You know, you never lose when you give money to the right causes. And I'm going to introduce you to a very important cause today that also needs all of our support. And I'm donating to this cause, and I want to encourage you to consider donating to this cause. I just learned about it, and that's part of the miracle that happened today that I'm going to share with you here. It's truly a miraculous thing. Just a little housekeeping first. Two things. Dr. Madej and her boyfriend, who were in the plane crash, they are recovering. I don't know if they're home yet, but they are recovering. And from what we heard, they're going to be okay. They're going to make it. We hope to be able to talk to Carrie Madej when she's available and whenever she wants to talk, or if she wants to tell her story about the plane crash and what happened. But we're not going to pressure her. Obviously, they need time to heal and to ponder, like, what happened, and how are we alive? Because they should have, by all accounts, they should have died in that plane crash, and they did not, and they were saved. And so there is a purpose in that as well. There's something powerful that's going to come out of that. And then secondly, Dr. Zev Zelenko is in the ICU. His cancer that he has described before as terminal cancer is spreading quite rapidly. He's been very open about this, by the way. I'm not violating his medical privacy at all. But there's also something miraculous in this, in the fact that one of the reasons that Dr. Zelenko, who has been an extraordinary gift to humankind, and we must say that Dr. Zelenko, his influence alone, has probably saved millions of lives on this planet. And how many people do you know who have saved, or at least been a significant part of the saving of millions of lives? Dr. Zelenko can add that to his resume when he goes before God for judgment, right? When he passes, because we're all going to pass, and actually, Dr. Zev, he's known for a while that he's going to pass soon. But it was in knowing that his passing was coming that he found incredible courage to tell the truth and to say to the wicked, corrupt establishment, no, you can't silence me because you can't do anything to me. Essentially, what he was saying is kind of like something that I've repeated from time to time. It's like, my soul is bulletproof. You can't take my soul. You can take my body, you can threaten my body, you can threaten my finances, you can try to sue me, you can censor me, you can smear me, you can defame me, you can do all these things. And guess what? You still lose. Because I, speaking on behalf of Dr. Zelenko, I continue to tell the truth, empower people with knowledge about nutrition and medical interventions that save lives. And when I die, is at least what I would imagine that he's saying. I don't pretend to speak for him. I'm just saying, I think this is inspired by what he has said publicly, that when I die, I will have lived with purpose. And I welcome judgment before God under those circumstances. Wouldn't you? I mean, what a blessing to be able to spend your final years in life saving the lives of millions of others, even in the face of tremendous evil and just Luciferian darkness and deception, which is, sadly, the vaccine industry that has no science, no truth, no honesty, just preying upon elderly and children now. It's sick. It's sick and twisted. And Dr. Zelenko has stood against that. So I just want to say, number one, Dr. Zelenko, we love you. We honor you. We recognize you and your gifts to humanity. His website is zfreedomfoundation.com. That's the Zelenko Freedom Foundation. And, come to think of it, we did not include him on the donation list, but perhaps we should have. There's a possible oversight on our part. I'll correct that later. But in the meantime, zfreedomfoundation.com is the website. And please pray for Dr. Zelenko and also recognize what an extraordinary individual he is, and a model that we should all strive to be inspired by, to be able to help so many people, even if we ourselves are in our last chapter. All right, moving on, one more housekeeping thing, and then I'm going to get to the inspiring story to share with you that just happened, which is truly, I'm almost still shocked by it, but it's all positive, you know. You've heard me be pretty gloomy some days. Today is not that kind of day. Today is a very positive day. The Health Ranger Store July 4th sale is on now. It's on right now. Probably by the time you can even possibly hear this, the sale has begun. And you can get to it by just in your browser typing in healthrangerstore.com/July4. That's the number for, JULY 4, the numeral. And that's it. Okay? healthrangerstore.com/July4. And then just hit enter, and you're going to see the sale. And it goes on for a few days. And we've got, believe it or not, I think about 1,000 sets of the Ranger buckets. And it's for real. I was in the warehouse a few hours ago, kind of after everybody else had left. I was driving the forklift because I had to load some things, moving things back and forth. And I saw, sure enough, there's, Ranger buckets and boxes just lining the aisles of this massive warehouse that we have built over the years, as you know. It's about 50,000 square feet of space. And it is packed to the gills with all the things that we have available for you. Somehow we pulled it together. Even though the food scarcity is real, the food inflation is real, we have not raised the price. We have very limited quantities. It's 1,000 sets. It'll be sold out today. Maybe in 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. I don't know. If you want some, just need to jump in there and get them. And again, the price has not gone up. So we are really, really working hard to try to keep certified organic, lab-tested, storable food to try to make it affordable for you. We've also got Big Berkey stainless steel water filter systems. There's a sale that we've got going on those. We've got collagen back in stock, the Iosat potassium iodide tablets, premium Manuka honey that is all lab-tested and, legit Manuka honey. We've got pink Himalayan salt, tea tree lavender shampoo that we formulated and make. The DEET-free bug defender, nascent iodine. It's good to have iodine these days, given what's going on in the world. Organic turmeric root powder and so much more. So check it all out, healthrangerstore.com/July4. And remember that all your purchases there help fund everything that we do in our organization, including Brighteon.tv, BrighteonRadio.com, Brighteon.com, the free speech video website, and as we just launched this week, Brighteon.tv in Espanol. That's right, we've got the Spanish-speaking broadcast channel that is rocking daily now. It's quite an operation. We're streaming all the time. We're streaming Clay Clark's Reawaken America tour events also. We've got a streaming channel going. We're on Roku. We got millions of viewers and visitors now. I mean, over 10 million a month that are watching us across the different channels and Roku as well. And then all these videos end up on Brighteon.com. More people watching there. And then people are cross-posting all the videos, on BitChute and Rumble and YouTube sometimes when it's not banned there. So we are getting the word out. We're telling the truth. We are pro-America. We are pro-Christ. We are pro-freedom, pro-liberty, pro-human. What else is there to say? Pro-planet Earth, man. We're not the transhumanists, the demons, or the aliens. We are the actual humans trying to defend this planet. Here we go. All right, so here's the miracle story that happened in the last several hours. Got to share it with you. Just so powerful. And also, we need your help. So here it is. So, yesterday I cleared my interview schedule. And again, I was just listening to what I thought God wanted me to do. And so here I am in the last 12 hours in the afternoon time, just thinking, what am I supposed to do with this time right now? I've got this time. I'm not doing interviews. I mean, there's plenty I could do, but what am I supposed to do? And then out of the blue comes a phone call. And I can't share all the details yet of how this came together, But let me just say that this is 100% guided by God, a divinely inspired connection to a group in Kansas that is running a critical, a very important campaign just for the next 34 days or so to add a constitutional amendment to the Constitution of the state of Kansas that would end the unlimited abortion status that allows abortion up to the day of birth by the Kansas Supreme Court, that would amend the Kansas Constitution that would allow the people of Kansas, through their legislature, to have some common sense limits on abortion, and also to regulate the abortion clinics, to have some kind of medical standards or, safety standards for the mother. Because right now in Kansas, it turns out, the Kansas State Supreme Court had previously ruled that abortion is an unlimited right in the state of Kansas. That is, that there could be no limits on it whatsoever. That's how it's been interpreted by the Supreme Court of Kansas. And as a result, there are horrific abuses of women in the abortion clinics across Kansas. And we're going to be bringing you some of those stories, by the way. And also, as a result, there can be no limits placed on abortion by lawmakers there. And so this means that in Kansas, which is shocking because most of the people of Kansas are against this, they can have abortions during live childbirth. I mean, they can murder a baby as it's being born, which is just unreal. And who knows, if we don't stop this thing, they might be able to have post-birth abortions, which is what's happening in California and New York, and I think, was it Maryland or Connecticut? They're like, you can murder the baby if you want, up to 7 days later or 28 days later. They're calling it abortion, even though obviously it's not. This is killing your child, My goodness. But Kansas, the reason abortion is not regulated in Kansas is because the Constitution needs to be amended there. So there's a campaign underway right now by some people who really need your help, and they need my help. And they connected with me in the last 12 hours, again, through this divinely inspired process. I can't even begin to describe it. But the connection was made, and it's called Value Them Both. That's the website, valuethemboth.com. Go ahead and pull up that website if you would. And by value them both, they mean value the mother and the child. So yes, protect the safety of the mother and also protect the sanctity of the life of the child. And so valuethemboth.com, not only do they could really use your financial support if you're looking for a place to put some funds to help save lives, to make a difference, here we go. And this vote comes up August 2nd, so there's only about a month left to do this. But Value Them Both would alter the Kansas state constitution so that finally the lawmakers would be able to reflect the values of the people of Kansas. And they would be able to have common sense regulations or restrictions on issues like abortions and abortion clinics and so on. So it's not just some kind of crazy Wild West, anything goes type of place. And the reason this is critical on a nationwide basis, you might wonder, why am I saying this to everybody when this just concerns Kansas? No, because it doesn't just concern Kansas. I mean, never mind the fact that I'm from the Midwest, and so I love the people of Kansas and all the surrounding areas, and, their well-being is important to me. But the other thing is that with Kansas right now not able to limit abortion, it's becoming an abortion tourism hub. So people, like in Missouri now, you can't get abortions because after Roe, I think the Attorney General there, isn't it Schmidt? I think that's his name. I don't recall what legal action he took, but abortion, I believe, is currently mostly illegal in Missouri. Maybe there are exceptions, for certain medical cases or rape or incest or things like that. But for the most part, I believe it's illegal in Missouri. So Missourians are going across the border to Kansas on abortion tourism runs. And the same thing is true with people in Oklahoma and other surrounding states. So Kansas is becoming an abortion tourism destination hub. Okay? And that's freaky, and that does not reflect the values of Kansans, does it? No, not at all. That's not what the people of Kansas believe in. You don't want to be the abortion tourism hub of the Midwest. Something's wrong with that. Now, we're publishing a story, by the way, and maybe that's up now. I'd have to check. We're publishing a story about the corporations that are funding abortion tourism for their employees, that's all kind of twisted, by the way. I know that Netflix is one of those corporations. I know Levi, the Blue Jeans company, is one of those. I think Target just announced that they're going to pay money for their employees to go have abortions. And I'm pretty sure most of the big tech companies, like Google and Apple and so on, it's pretty crazy. Which means they're going to pay, these corporations are going to pay their female employees, because yes, only females can get pregnant, despite what you've heard on CNN. They're going to pay their female employees to drive to Kansas and have an abortion there, and then the employee's going to collect thousands of dollars. And apparently the employee can repeat this as many times as possible. So because Kansas doesn't have the right framing of its constitution yet, it's not protecting the lives of mothers and children, then Kansas is becoming a what's the right term? Like a abortion fetus laundering destination, right? Where women who work in all these other corporations in surrounding states, and we got a list of like 20 or 25 big companies that do this. They will drive to Kansas, have abortions, collect money, drive back to where they are in Missouri or somewhere, and then, go out, party down, get pregnant again, have another unborn human baby, and then let's collect another $4,000 and let's drive to Kansas and have another abortion factory operation thing. And so Kansas becomes the place of, unintentional evil. In other words, the people of Kansas don't want their state to be this hub of evil, but the Kansas Supreme Court is currently ruling it that way. So this has got to change. Even for some cosmic reasons we're going to talk about here, it's got to change. If these people want to just murder their babies in abortion factories and collect money, tell them to go to the right state, like California or New York, because we know New York City is an abortion, headquarters of America. Pick your destination appropriately. Don't drive to Kansas. The people of Kansas don't support this. So again, go to the website valuethemboth.com. Check out their video. Check out their whole operation. This affects the whole country. And it turns out that the White House and the Democrats are rallying their fundraising and their efforts onto Kansas to try to protect their, quote, right to murder babies without limits in the state of Kansas. And so we have got to fight this also on a nationwide basis to protect life in the state of Kansas. So that's why this matters to all of us. If we can save Kansas, we can save the children, and we can send a message that says that at least middle America will not tolerate all this baby killing stuff that's going on. We're just not going to be part of it. It's like, yeah, if you want to go to California, that's California's own decision, and we know how they're going to decide, but at least let's not have it in our own backyards if you're in the Midwest or, frankly, anywhere in the country. So again, valuethemboth.com. Click on the donate button on the top right-hand corner if you've got some funds to donate. Want to put it to a good cause. I can assure you these are good people. I can assure you they need your assistance. And we are going to be helping spread the word about this. We're going to be talking about this all the way up through August 2nd, because this came to me as something that is critical for me to focus on, for America to, we've got to defeat the pure evil that's trying to have, even at birth abortions, at the moment of birth abortions. It's just unbelievable. Let me just go through some of the headlines that we're about to publish on our websites, both naturalnews.com and we publish hundreds of other websites. Did you know that we publish abortions.news? That's the plural of it, abortions with an S.news, yeah. I registered that years ago, and at that time, abortion.news was not available. Someone had already grabbed that because I think people in the abortion industry were really really looking for that. So we also grabbed infanticide.news, just to make sure we had it covered. So anyway, we do publish those sites and hundreds of others. But check out some of the headlines we're about to publish. Radical pro-abortionists use interactive map tool to target crisis pregnancy centers for attacks. So I mean, they're using big tech and coordinating all their terrorism using technology to target the pro-Christian, pro-life centers across America. And remember, the DOJ just stands by and does nothing. The DOJ under Merrick Lucifer Garland just stands back and says, oh, that's not terrorism. No, terrorism is when you peacefully protest near the Capitol building on January 6th. That's terrorism. But, burning down a pro-life Christian center, oh, that's not terrorism. No, that must be peaceful. I say sarcastically. Biden promises that your tax dollars will be used by Health and Human Services to transport women across state lines for baby murderers. Oh my gosh. It's been called the abortion Uber. Right. So you want to go to Kansas and have an abortion there? Apparently just going to be able to call up 1-800, vacuum it out or whatever. And they're going to send, HHS is going to send a Uber vehicle like the abortuary hearse or something. I don't know. It should reek of death, whatever it is. And then you jump into that thing. They drive you across state lines to Kansas at their, abortion factories there, boom, bitty bam. And then, they knock you out. They do their horrific things. And then they drive you back home and drop you off. And it's like, taxpayers are going to fund this? Are you kidding me? One more abuse of taxpayers. Here's another headline. Deranged abortion-loving woman says that she gets pregnant just to murder the baby. So we're hearing this now, too. It's not like decades ago when women were largely ashamed to have an abortion. It was a last-ditch type of thing for many women. And, they didn't brag about it. They didn't celebrate it. They weren't like, yes, But today, there's a lot of these women that are so strong, or I should say, so strongly emotional about abortion that they celebrate it and they love it. And they talk about, oh, I'm going to get pregnant just to kill it again. And it just over and over and over again. What kind of hell are they unleashing upon our world to get pregnant just to kill the baby over and over? I mean, not the same baby, obviously, but to kill another baby and another baby and another baby. I mean, what are they racking up, bonus points in hell? What is this? What is this kind of behavior?